And what is up, guys? Welcome to episode 15 of the LBank show. I'm your host, Muha, and today with us we do have an amazing guest, an amazing project in the blockchain and cryptocurrency world. And I'm more than happy to have another chance to talk with them. We actually did have a space with Orion 2 months ago, and we were very happy to have another show with them here live with a picture on a YouTube channel of the LBank. The great guest I have today, I also had him on a Twitter space. His name is Stèphane. He's an ambassador of Orion, and he will let us know more about the project developments and the future for 2024. So I will not take more of his time today, and I will be more than happy to call him. Hi, can you hear me well?
Hi, yes. Hi.
It's
Hi,
such an
Moha.
honor to have you on the LBank show episode 14. We are very honored to have you on, and thank you for accepting the call, man.
Sure, of course. Yeah, no, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for the invitation. It's great to be here.
Definitely. And today's show is going to be made up of three parts. The first part is going to be free chat. We're going to talk what has been on your mind recently. The second part is going to be about questions, some question about your Ariane, and the third part is going to be closing part and saying goodbye to the chat. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, sure. That's good. Yeah.
Definitely, Stefan. Can you tell me what has been your mind recently?
I mean, obviously, right now the market is heating up a bit. People are getting excited. It's always funny to see because we're building in the space no matter what the market conditions are, and it seems like when price goes up, a lot more people are reaching out, a lot more projects are, you feel something different, right? So, I mean, that's fun to see. But again, like we've been building during the bear anyway, and but it is fun to see like communities more supportive, other projects, partners. There's a lot more activity, I would say, right now. So it's purely psychological. Nothing fundamental has changed. So, but it's good that things are heating up. And so yeah, I'm also thinking about like 2024 or vision for 2024. With the team. So I'm an Orion DAO ambassador for Orion, and so we're thinking with them about how to approach the new year. There's a lot of things that Orion wants to do, a lot of goals. We've always been very ambitious, so we're thinking, all right, what are our priorities over the next few years, over the next year, as well as these potentially big events that we would like to attend this year in 2024. I mean, so yeah, just looking forward to a very good year. It's heating up and it looks very positive.
Indeed, and we are very, very excited for 2024. I mean, this bear market was itself special, and we never saw something like this, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
definitely,
there's been a few bear markets, but it's normal. It's cyclical. It's
indeed,
nothing. Yeah.
indeed. Indeed. And I mean, Orion has been building a lot in the bear market, and we did have the Twitter space, but I think we didn't touch so much on Orion because you guys are doing so many things at once, and that's showing how you guys are great. What I want to ask about is, can you tell us more about the history of Orion? I mean, and what's the main goal that you guys have and set for yourself?
Sure. So, I mean, the history of Orion, it really started, I believe, in 2018 when at the time there was a lot of segregation in the markets, meaning like there were different exchanges, different centralized exchanges. There were, DeFi was starting to, it wasn't really what it is today. There was the liquidity in the markets was very segregated. Nowadays, like there's new technologies and then aggregators, which we are, that connect markets together. But basically, for the user, it was quite complex. If you wanted to buy a token, it was on a different chain, or it wasn't. The user experience was very hard. The value that users would get when they would be trading on different platforms, chains, different exchanges, the prices would always be very much affected. Things are better now. We've worked. We proud of what we've accomplished so far. So over the last few years, we've really refined our technology to make sure that always taking into consideration the user in terms of value, so that they get the best prices and the best liquidity in a decentralized world. A lot of people were trading on centralized exchanges before. It's still the case, but since 2018, really, like DeFi has taken off in many ways, and there are still a lot of problems to solve, which is what we love to do. So I'd say like right now, the main goal for Orion, to answer your question, was about unifying this liquidity from centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, basically to bring best prices to users. That was the main goal, still is the main goal, and doing so across chains. So that's still what we're working on. However, we are also thinking of the future, and we see it. We've always talked about this for years. At some point, prices will stabilize. It will become much more efficient across the decentralized markets and the centralized markets. And so we need to think further. Like, all right, where would Orion be in 2 years, 5 years from now? Like, what would be the main value proposition at that time? Because we're proud that we have the best prices, and we are working with other partners to build on top of our liquidity, other large DeFi projects, meaning that at some point the prices on Orion will be the same as other projects because they'll be using our prices along with other liquidity sources. So what are we thinking? Our goal really is to become the people's platform, the people's favorite trading platform. So on the technical side, we have the advantage where we're able to lower our fees. So that's one thing, we want to keep our fees quite low. We want to keep having the best prices in the industry. We want to have wealth redistribution for real, for a community, for users who bring value to Orion, and we want to have excellent customer service. So these are like different pillars that will really start shaping our vision, in the future for us to really accomplish our goal of being the people's favorite trading platform.
Indeed, and you guys are all about the users, am I right?
Yeah, exactly. And so, there's been a lot of challenges in the past, and with the Orion team, like on the technical level, what Orion wanted to accomplish was very ambitious. We have accomplished a lot. Like we're still the only DeFi platform where you can go and see the centralized exchanges order books live, like Binance, KuCoin, OKX, and have access to those simply by connecting your wallet and having like some sort of sex-like experience where you see the order books, you can do limit orders, you can do charts and stuff. It's not just a simple swap. We have a simple swap like people are used to use in DeFi, but behind the scenes in the backend, that swap is powered by the liquidity from Binance, KuCoin, OKX. So it's much better prices. We try to show it on our UI UX in a way that users understand, like where are these tokens coming from, like why are the prices better, how much are the prices better. So that's one aspect of it that we care about users, but we want to care even more about users moving forward. And like I said before, like wealth redistribution, that's something we want to do for real. And we've launched our referral program, which is completely unique, and it was built to be sustainable and lucrative. So this is very important. A lot of DeFi projects, they'll issue rewards, and they out of thin air, and then the tokenomics are very inflationary. So in our case, we wanted to create a system where users are rewarded for real for the value they bring to the ecosystem, to Orion, as well as in a sustainable way. So basically, the referral program was built so that users earn rewards from real trading fees. So imagine when you go on big centralized exchanges, you trade there. Even if you talk to people about it, sometimes they have programs where you earn $20, you earn $100, but in the long run, it's not like a sustainable. It's not a you won't keep earning money for your referees trade over a long period of time. Our system is completely different. It's built so that not only do you earn money forever on all your referrers trades on Orion, but as well as their referrers and their friends and their friend up to 5 levels in a fully sustainable way, meaning that the rewards are 100% coming from real trading revenue generated. And so we're really banking on this system to grow our community, to reward our community. We understand the importance of doing that, as well as and for short periods of time, we'll have boosted rewards that do come from marketing budget for limited periods of time. But really, the goal is to develop a big system where wealth redistribution is at the core of what we do to become the people's favorite DeFi platform. Another thing caring about users is excellent customer service. So a lot of DeFi projects lack in that. We're not perfect. We're not great by any means right now, but this is something we want to focus on with different technologies, with the growing our team, better documentation, better UI UX. So we're always looking at how to improve our own internal team uh, as a DAO, and getting people from the community. I myself from the community. Like I'm not part of the original Orion team, none of that. So I talk on behalf of the Orion DAO and the Orion core team, let's say, but to present the ideas. But I'm not part of the team, so we there's 2 3 different people from the community now that are joining the team on a more active basis, where they're really contributing. So we want to expand this, and so this is for the customer service. We want to grow this aspect. There's different ways I could go on about this, but that we've implemented small incremental changes over the last few months in our Telegram community, which is an amazing community right now. And yeah, we want to keep improving this. So always in the future, and now in the future, we want to focus on users.
Indeed, and kind of to ride on that answer and set you another question is, I mean, how do you guys, and you did touch on that theme, how do you guys plan to redefine DeFi trading in terms of liquidity and user access? What are you guys unique in? I mean, you did touch on those themes, but can we
Yeah.
say more about it, or about those key points that you guys are unique in, and how do you plan to redefine DeFi trading?
Sure. I mean, so I believe Orion has already redefined DeFi trading, because when you compare Uniswap versus Orion, Uniswap doesn't have the prices and the liquidity that Orion does, and yet it's doing amazing. Same for PancakeSwap. So I believe that really Orion brought world-class liquidity from Binance, KuCoin, OKX on a DEX. So that's been done. We need to keep improving this. Like we want to keep improving this, like potentially adding more exchanges, making it available on more chains. So we've redefined DeFi trading. We need to keep expanding this, and doing so, by the way, like without any account required and with global access, so that people that for whatever reason don't trust centralized exchanges or don't have even access to centralized exchanges in their country, we want to provide global access as much as possible. So this is what we've done. Now we need to build on top of this to make the user UI UX even better. So the goal really is to get, and there are some technical and technological improvements that have been made in the space for the UI UX to be even better and easier and smoother for users, so that they get all the benefits from DeFi with a real, even better sex-like experience. So I think like this, when we get to the point where people don't even understand it, or don't even feel the difficulties of trading in DeFi, it looks and feels like a centralized exchange is easy to use, and with like gas fees and all this are a thing of the past. This is what we want to focus on, so that we'll be at a point where we have the liquidity of a centralized exchange, as well as the experience, like for real, of a centralized exchange as much as possible, but always in a decentralized manner where people hold their keys. This is our next focus, right? Like to improve the UI UX. So I think that will continue to redefine DeFi trading in terms of user access and what makes us unique.
And you guys are for real unique. I can say that for sure. So, how does the Orion approach uh, to combining sex and DX and liquidity models challenges in the current landscape of DeFi trading? And we see challenges all over the place, and you guys are still aiming and doing that to make better user experience for every trader in the industry.
That's a good question. So what the approach that Orion has taken on a technical level was completely new, and pushed the boundaries of what is possible in DeFi. So liquidity that was available on centralized exchanges is available now for DeFi users. That's one thing. And when you ask about the liquidity models challenging the current DeFi trading experience, well, what we've accomplished is it's pretty unique in the sense that you look at Uniswap. They're made of liquidity pools and AMM. What we've done is transform this liquidity pool in the format of an order book format, so that we can really combine this type of liquidity with centralized exchanges liquidity. So this is very unique, and this has challenged the DeFi, the space. So there is a big DeFi, big DEX that we're in talks with right now, that hint, we've had the Twitter space with recently, and they realized this. Like they were working basically on the technology that we've been working on, and they understand, and other dexes are understanding the same thing, that users want better experiences, or better liquidity. Like the experience on a centralized exchange caters to both beginners as well as very advanced traders. We need to get to a place where DeFi is useful for all traders. So like large traders as well as algorithmic traders, as well as creating bots. But at the core of it is the liquidity. So we've solved this. But by doing so, and by creating this new technology, which by the way is very well explained on our website and our Git book, we've taken the time to explain these hard to understand topics in a very easy manner. So I encourage everyone to go look at it. By doing so, I believe that Orion has pushed the boundary of what's possible in DeFi, pushing other projects to be like, hey, like they need to adapt, because when leaders are doing something different, others need to follow. Otherwise, they won't be as relevant. And you see this example with 1inch and Uniswap. So Uniswap has launched recently Uniswap X, which is a very similar model to Uniswap's to 1inch model for liquidity aggregation and RFQ systems. So Uniswap had to adapt in order to compete with 1inch. And similarly to us, we've created technology that no one else is still using. We're in talks with others who want to use our liquidity protocol. Some big names, nothing to mention for now to announce, but it's in the works. So yeah, like us, like leaders on the technological point of view, will challenge the current landscape of DeFi trading for the better for users.
And my next question is about the first. In the first question, we actually, on the beginning, we touched on that theme, and that's the wealth redistribution. I mean, can you maybe elaborate on Orion's plan how to distribute and impact for the global users? Because we did mention the global users will be accessible to the wealth distribution.
Sure. There's two things here. So the first is that the liquidity protocol on which Orion is built requires some brokers that we call liquidity nodes, and those very similar to Ethereum's network, where users need to stake in order to secure the network. We have built this protocol which does something similar, but for liquidity, in the sense that users can stake their Orion in order to secure and enable the overall liquidity network to operate. And just like Ethereum has some rewards for community and for supporters to perform like real useful jobs for the network, we have the same system built in place. And the goal really is that eventually the protocol revenue will fully reward these stakers, these governance stakers. So that's our first system for wealth redistribution in a way. But really the biggest one that we've released right now, and that we're focused on, I mean, the other one is released, but is mostly funded by our marketing budget. This new system that we released, our refer and earn program, really enables wealth redistribution, because up to 40% of our fees get redistributed back into that program. So imagine when someone refers people and users are trading, volume can be like very high, very low, and it's made to be forever decentralized, smart contracts, all this, so that when you talk to someone and you refer them to Orion, all their fees, 40% of their fees will go back to you in a different scheme. Yeah, exactly. And if they talk about Orion to other people and have their networks trade on Orion, we're not going to be keeping all the fees just like large centralized exchanges. We want to redistribute them back to the users, so benefiting the users that bring value to Orion. I mean, 40% is a lot. It's a big number. I haven't seen any of this. I haven't seen any 5-level referral program anywhere. This is completely new. We've built it from scratch, and this is our way for us to redistribute wealth, so that people on Orion, are part of something bigger than simply trading. They can. We actually have an initiative in Nigeria right now that just happened this week, where someone reached out to us. They're like, "Hey, we want to talk about Orion in Nigeria." And Nigeria has like one of the highest levels of crypto adoption, like globally. I think it's like top 5 or whatever with different metrics. Very high adoption there. They reached out to us, and we started to post about it on Twitter. They basically go out there, and over there, like talking about Orion and incentivizing people, like educating people about the benefits of DeFi, benefits of controlling your own assets, benefits of trading with high liquidity, are very high. And doing so, they were able to do so, but also earn from that. And so, with network effects, it becomes quite interesting for the ones that are willing to put in some work in order to be really rewarded, well, in a very fair manner, we believe. So a lot of those details are on our Gitbook on our website for people to go check out. It's quite interesting. It's for it's closed right now for an early access group, which is growing every day. So we're growing this early access group, but the goal really is for it to become public at some point. But it's quite easy, I would say, right now to if someone is really interested in the program, to gain access to the refer and earn program.
uh, we did touch on the theme that you guys are for sure unique and that you did build in this bear market, and that you guys have some of the great future announcement and partnership. But I must ask that the world in crypto world, pardon me, is rapidly evolving and evolving, and new things come on, the old things just get forget. uh, how do you guys plan on the long term goals to stay not only relevant but the leader in the DeFi world?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on it a bit earlier. I think
Yeah.
making sure we maintain our better prices. So, which is what we're doing. For example, now the V3 pools of Uniswap, PancakeSwap have been out for quite some time. If we didn't integrate those V3 pools, then our price would not be as good, right? So, for different tokens that are not available on centralized exchanges. So recently we've integrated V3 types of pools, which were completely different than V2 pools. And again, we're not like other platforms that the work necessary for this to happen on our platform is harder. For us to integrate V3 pools, we need to integrate them in a way that they can be combined with centralized exchanges order books, right? It's completely different. We call this transmuted AMM price curves. So we basically modify these AMM curves so that they can be in an order book format, along with virtual order books. Again, all this is easier to understand on our Gitbook. And so I would say, like, to maintain leadership in crypto trading platforms that maintain better prices and then better UI UX. We can't have the same UI UX that we've had over the last year. We need to, in the sense that we always need to look to improve it. We have someone that's joined recently to specifically target UI UX and improve this. New features, we're always looking out for for example, account abstraction. Looking out for the new features that will make the UI UX better. So basically, we have to maintain the edge that we have in terms of prices, which we're doing. We also have to look at how to improve our UI UX because the market evolves quickly. There's always new toys to play with, like new dApps to play with. Some are smoother than others, so we need to make sure that our UI UX is good enough because at the end of the day, prices do matter, but user experience matters a lot. And also to maintain our leadership, I'd say the customer service I spoke about is important, especially in DeFi. It's very different than what people are used to. So if we want to onboard, the billion next users, we need to make sure that they're well supported either by a strong community or by a strong team or a very well developed AI chatbot, specifically for Orion. So these are different ideas for us to have, best prices, best UI UX, and best customer service in the industry.
Stefan, in the beginning, you mentioned that you came from the community, if I can say that, and we know the community itself is a very important part of any projects, and the projects cannot sustain without the community. How would you describe Orion community in a couple of words? Because I usually ask my guests to do that. So if you feel comfortable, hopefully we can do
Uh,
it.
sure. I mean, I would describe them as invested, not just with real money, but also invested with their emotions, invested with their time. If you go on a Telegram community, you'll see like some community members are amazing. I mean, some of them have joined the team and are helping to develop in whatever capacity their experience is to help Orion grow. We have a very positive, supportive community. A lot of things have changed over the last year actually in terms of community engagement. the Orion team has been more transparent and more honest. I would say, like a lot of it, in the sense that sometimes the community expectation and the reality are two different things, and so often projects will won't be as transparent as honest as Orion has been over the last 6 months, 1 year. And so this has really helped our community understand a bit more. The decisions are made as a team, as a business. Yes, we are transitioning towards a DAO, but it's still at the end of the day a project led by a core team that's been there for years, that has like restrictions. There's all sorts of challenges that of running a team, of running a project, of developing something new. And so there's communication that's been done through AMAs, through the Git book has a lot of information now, a lot of explanations to the community. So I think our community now became much more understanding, much more supportive, positive. We are releasing new things. We were building a lot during the bear. Now we're releasing the referral program. We're releasing these new liquidity. We're adding more tokens that are available in centralized exchanges. The mobile app is coming, is actually right now in testing to make our UI UX even better. Sorry, I haven't even talked about this, but there's a mobile app that honestly is so easy to use. That's some of our users, the feedback that we got from early access was that it's almost too easy. Maybe the UI UX needs to be changed, but the steps required to trade on that app are less than what people are used to in DeFi. So it becomes like this centralized exchange experience that I talked about. But we have some refinements to make there so that people understand that, hey, when I press a button here, this is actually sending a transaction to Ethereum, which has high gas fees, and so or BNB chain, whatever. So we have some UI UX improvements to make, but at the core, it's an app that's the feedback that we've got so far is quite positive. Still a lot of work to be done. We want to release it when we're all happy with it, but for now we're growing the early access group. So I would say that community is positive, supportive, and this is why we're trusting them now with these early access groups that we're doing, both for the referral program and the mobile app. I mean, they if we have a system on Telegram where people can increase the reputation of each other, reply to each other if it's very manual. There's some small reward sometimes, and they can gain access to early access groups for those who are really willing to put in their time. So this is what I mean when they're invested, not just with the Orion token, but also invested in time where they want to test, they want to bring their feedback. We have a great community, honestly. So I invite anyone to come check out our Telegram. It's a great vibe over there. So yeah, I'm very happy that they came from the community. Happy to see like where it's going now, and hoping to find more people that want to join the Orion DAO on a more active basis, so that they can contribute more closely with the core tech team who is building Orion.
Indeed, and all of those links gonna be in description. So everyone listening, go please check it out. The Twitter and Telegram and everything is gonna be in description. That's great that you mentioned the app is gonna be very easy to use, because I think the simplicity is always what people love and love to interact with. Do we maybe know the date when the app is gonna come out? Can we maybe announce it,
But
or it's gonna be announced in the future?
announced in the future. Again,
Okay.
this is something that Orion has decided to do to manage community expectations, and it's also something we keep talking about on Telegram or Gitbook. Things change all the time, but we have something ready to show for. This is why we open it up to our community to access it early. But it is coming. There is progress, and so we're doing it incrementally. We're talking about it in a prudent manner. We don't want to overhype it, anything, until it's really ready for full release. So
Indeed. And Stefan, I must ask about the future plans that you guys have. I mean, we did touch on 2024 and what's gonna happen in the future. And you guys always look ahead of the time and look for the new announcements. I mean, is there any partnership that maybe we can say, any secrets that we can relieve now?
sure. I mean, yeah, a little something. So Orion used to be known as Orion Protocol. What we've done this year, we've rebranded Orion Protocol into simply Orion. So Orion becomes this brand where users, like the brand basically that users knew as a trading platform where people can come in and trade. This is all the Orion brand now. But the protocol side of things, we'll go through a revamp. So the protocol is this liquidity network, which I've I've talked about. Really powers Orion, and which gets a lot of people excited because it has a lot of potential, right? Like centralized liquidity that can be now used for by any project in DeFi. It's quite interesting. And so this protocol, we haven't been talking about it much. In the back end of things, we've been working on integrations that take time because it's new technology that sometimes we have to adapt our technology to other partners. So there's a lot of work that's been done in the background. We're not talking too much about it right now, but reasons to believe that we'll be hearing more about it in 2024. Again, something very exciting. It'll make more sense when everyone hears about it. It's cool branding. It'll be better. It'll bring great attention to the Orion token for sure, and to the Orion community, and because we'll need to we want to differentiate the apps that people use from the decentralized liquidity network that we've built, right? So
Indeed, we can
not
say
much
that.
details, but stay tuned.
Of course, I mean, there's a lot of things coming Orion to Orion community. So just stay tuned and keep looking at our, I mean, Orion Twitter and social media accounts. Stefan, I must ask, I mean, more now about yourself. I mean, how did you get involved with Orion, and then how many years have you been in the crypto industry? We can say that.
Yes, I've been in crypto industry for like since 2017, 2018. I have a technical background, but not software development background. I've always been interested by finance and software development. In my previous life, as well as the real estate and construction and real estate development. So yeah, I was active in the community. I started learning about crypto with Vitalik. Like I knew about Bitcoin, but it's when I really started listening to Vitalik and what he had to say, 2017 and stuff. Like I really understood that the internet was upgrading. It was about to happen at some point. I mean, not as imminent as we all thought, but the internet is upgrading, and it's clear now that there's a whole revolution. I thought was extremely interesting, so I started, learning more about crypto, Web3. Eventually landed on Orion. I thought it was a very, very interesting project, doing something different, and potentially a game changer in the industry. So I was a community member who was following, invested in the token, and slowly got to know the team in a Telegram setting. So it's kind of funny how these things happen. And eventually, met up with them somehow, and grew some relationship with them. And then, yeah, became one of the Orion DAO ambassadors over the last year. So I have ties with the team building the Orion technology, and I'm proud to say that yeah, like I'm proud to speak on their behalf and to represent Orion in public settings like this one. So yeah, that's a bit of about me, I guess.
Amazing. I mean, I usually say that 1 year in crypto is 7 years outside the crypto. So you've
Yeah,
been in
true.
in the crypto world for a long time, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Indeed, and I think we could talk more about Orion, but I mean, we need days, not hours, not minutes. We need days to explain what you guys are doing and how special and unique is that. And of course, for everyone listening, we will put down the links in description, and the people can follow you guys and learn more about you guys. And indeed, Stefan, in the name of the LBank, I just want to thank you for accepting the call and coming on and telling us more about the amazing, unique project that we have here.
Of course, honestly, my pleasure. I like doing these things. So yeah, I appreciate the invitation. It's an honor. So thank you very much. And yeah, this was great.
Definitely. And thank you so much. Keep trading in LBank and see you next time.